Hi, I'm Professor Stephanie, and today we have a floor plan of a large bedroom, and I want to talk about adding texture. Furniture pieces are generally very geometric, so oftentimes we look for the texture and pattern to have some curvilinear qualities. We can use a combination of dots and lines to do this. You can see I got started with some of the floor plan, and I'm going to add wood to this surface. And one of the qualities of wood is that it does have some curves to it, and it gives you an opportunity to add that curvilinear quality. I've got a small lamp on there, and you can see too that I'm sort of making it look like the grain. Very often when we're rendering a pattern, we want where the rendering part is not that it's exact, but it gives a flavor of the quality of our pattern. So here's a bedspread pattern. Again, I'm just using dots and dashes and lines. This is also adding value to our image. And as you know, when we look at an image where our eye is attracted to contrast of darks and lights, this piece right here is a bench, and I put a geometric pattern in there to represent caning, and this is the wood border around it. This is a basket, which I'm going to just add some curvilinear lines in there. Let's look over here at some other ways that you can take that rectangular shape of a table. For example, we could make this a glass top table and show some dashes that give us this. I'm actually going to tighten up a little bit with those. We would probably also see border around it. We can do a more traditional table with perhaps an inlay area here. Again, this gives us a chance to add interest, value. I'm going to put a scoopy curve in there as if it were inlay. So there's a couple of different ways to do tables. I also wanted to show you, here's a couple of plants. This one's a leafy plant, this one has small leaves. I wanted to show you a tree, and one of the things that I find is helpful is to actually put the plant, if you notice I have a pencil drawing. I've started with the circle of the container, and I'll put the plant in the container first because the container will have a lot of overlapping. So once I've done the tree, here's my tree trunk, here are the branches, perhaps there are leaves on here. I can make small leaves and dots. I like it to come outside of the actual, so that not everything doesn't have to touch. Makes it a little interesting. And then I come back in to make that curved container. I want an edge to the container. I want two lines to show the container. And oftentimes you can add a darker value where the dirt is. And this again gives you some distinguishing qualities, gives interest. So there's another typical plant. I can do another leafy plant here. Again, I've got a pencil sketch that's showing the container. I can add my leaves. It's fun to again have some leaves that kind of come out. They're very curvilinear, they're organic, and that's a great quality that plants will bring to your drawings. And again, we can add a little value back. Great. I also have a couple of blocks here with some different kinds of flooring. We've got sort of a brick, we've got a stone, geometric at an angle tiles, wood. The thing about wood for me is these woods come in plank sizes, and you want to show that. You also have a chance from one plank to the next. For example, this is curved this way, it hits that plank and curves back the other way, and that helps with the detail. Stippling is another quality that you can use for carpet, and the significant part about stippling for me is that you want to stipple very the heaviest where the furniture is, where the edges are, and I describe it as having a sort of a more open cloud in the center there, where the areas that are not, again, by the walls or the furniture. This is a very tedious process, but you'll notice I'm gonna leave this center area here with a little bit less and really work to get more of the stippling around the objects, around the furniture. And sometimes you can even indicate a shadow. So if the light's coming in this way, I like to shadow with just one direction. Might be a little bit more to it. So these are some ideas of adding texture and pattern.